Good morning, Nicholas. We'll start the session by introducing your profile.
Yeah, thanks. So, namaste everyone. My name is Nikhilesh, and
Just
today
I will give you the introduction, sir. I will give you the introduction.
Okay, okay, please.
Today's session is led by Nicholas Tayal. He is the founder of AML.com company. So this is the mainly established for giving the training to the enthusiasts or learners for related to the AIML. He's having the top skills of teaching educational technology and generative AI. Nicholas Tayal is an AI teacher, entrepreneur, and filmmaker also. He has self-learned AI, LLMs, generative AI, blockchain, and Python, leading to his career as an AI entrepreneur and teacher. He has received various accolades, including a felicitation from the Chief Minister of Rajasthan. His entrepreneurial journey includes employing over 100 people and achieving significant media coverage and revenue growth. He's having the professional experience. Presently, he's, as I said, he's a founder and teacher at AML, ETC company. He's earlier worked at, as a guest faculty, IITs and IIMs, and a founder of Ved Saga, founder and filmmaker at Stage Ford Productions, recruitment advisor at Supermorphers, founder of CV Bhajo, AI project manager at IVH Techno Solutions Private Limited, and a software engineer at Infosys. His educational qualifications are MBA from Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, Marine Engineer and Research Institute, Central Academy Schools. His achievements over these. Welcome, sir. Welcome, Nicholas, sir, to our session. Earlier we had a session started with Arpit Singh and another person. I hope participants will learn more from you also. The pace will be continued with your lectures. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, let me share my screen.
Okay, sir. Screen is visible and audio is also clear, sir. You can.
Nikhilesh, and today we'll talk about LangChain. Can you see my screen?
Sir, yes, sir.
Just hold on.
Your screen is visible.
Just give me a minute. But I'm not able to actually see. Yes, please give me a minute. Let me. Cool. Let's. Namaste everyone. My name is Nikhilesh. Today we'll talk about LangChain, and so you must have gone through training on large language models. To start with, let's do this exercise. So, what could be the first one?
Prompt, vision.
Prompt, right? First one is the prompt. Second one is vision. Now, what about the third?
Decode.
How do decoders decode? So there are multiple answers. What could be the other answers? So how do decoders decode? What else?
Work. How do decoder works?
How do decoders work? Right. Then what else? What else? Today we will Fourth one, today we will
Learn AI.
learn AI, right? What else? Today we will use AI. What else?
You will discuss.
Language,
Huh? Can you please repeat?
language models.
Sir, today we'll be having some data set on dictionary, and we'll try to decode this fill in the blanks using that dictionary.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what are the last one? What would be the last one?
Language models.
No. What are the fill in the blanks? Like what? So what are attention units, or could be where are attention units, right? See, so the point, of doing this exercise was the way you were thinking. Large language models or chat GPT also does the same. It may look like that large language models do multiple tasks and they can do so much stuff, but at its core, they are simply predicting the next word or the missing word, right? So I hope we we know about large language models. So before we start with LangChain, so what is a LangChain? LangChain is an open source development framework for making LLM applications, right? So these are some prerequisites before we talk about LangChain. So I'll quickly go through it. If you are aware of all these things, then we'll then quickly move to it. If else, otherwise I'll just talk about it, and then we'll come to our original topic, which is LangChain. So what are large language models? Anyone? I think in section 2 or 3 we already have this discussion. What are large language models? Anyone would like to tell what are large language models?
Helps us in generating text.
These are we are going to use on pre-trained models.
Right. So there are pre-trained models which helps in generating text. I agree. So basically, Chat GPT is a large language model, right? So it's like brand name and the product name. So Chat GPT is the brand name, but the actual product or the actual technology is your large language model, right? It's like Colgate and toothpaste. So Colgate is the brand name, but actual product is the toothpaste. Similarly, we have multiple large language models currently. It's like we have large language models from Meta, from Amazon. What's the name of large language model from Meta? Have we have heard of or the large language model? Sorry, Shrikant, could you please? Could you please repeat?
Sir, Gemini.
Gemini, yeah, Google. Yeah. So Google's is Gemini, and what else? I'm not sure.
Yeah, Cloud Llama.
Hello. Right. So all these. So we know there are so many large language models. And okay, so what is the full form of GPT in Chat GPT? Like anyone, like
generative pre-trained transformer.
Exactly. So it's generative pre-trained transformer. So a transformer which is pre-trained and which can generate. So large language models, as you correctly said, large language models are basically pre-trained models which can generate, right? So I think so now till that part we are clear. So this is more or less the LLM architecture, right? This is what it is. And if you see, this is where we are, right? it's a subset of generative AI, which is a subset of deep learning, which is a subset of neural networks, and largely so, large language models is part of RTL. So this is what. Now, what all things we can do with LLMs? What are the or where have you used ChatGPT, or for what all tasks you have used ChatGPT?
For summarization of a
For
PDF.
summarization, what else?
Almost we are using in our day-to-day life, creating rubrics,
Okay.
many things we do.
Okay.
Coding.
Yeah, for
To write
writing
emails.
For writing.
Write in emails, right? So there's so many use cases we need, right? For content generation, to language translation, to text summarization, information retrieval, chat bots, content moderation, educational tools. So I think we know about these things. However, do we know the limitations of LLMs? Because a LangChain is all about making LLM applications. So do we know about what large language models cannot do? So let's talk about
Some
those things as well.
confidential information we cannot get it, like creating bombs. We cannot get the information related making of bombs, killing the other persons. Like there is a restriction for that part.
Right. So let's see. So first of all, let's see. So first of the limitation is, so if they have a knowledge cutoff, as we know that they are pre-trained model, right? So they have a knowledge cutoff. For example, for ChatGPT, the knowledge cutoff is I think September 2021. So anything, if you ask any question which is after that time period, LLM will not be able to answer. For example, if you ask who is the Prime Minister of the UK, the answer which is giving is like out of date. Like 2 prime ministers have changed since then, right? So that is one limitation. So and we'll also see how we can overcome this limitation using agents and LangChain. So that's one. I think this is because ChatGPT is like pre-trained transformer. Now the second question, we are asking 40366 divided by 439. It's a very simple arithmetic question, and ChatGPT still got it wrong. Why? So we are telling that ChatGPT can do so much stuff. ChatGPT can do that. ChatGPT can do this. It can write code. It can write poetry. And here is the ChatGPT cannot able to, answer a basic maths question.
The computational limit, sir.
And computational limit is for training the model. This is we are just inferencing, right? Like we are asking, so ChatGPT can generate like thousands of words of essay. Why can't it solve a simple arithmetic problem? Because large language models, as the name suggests, it's a language model. So model was trained in lots of language data. It was not trained on maths data. So consider LLM as a person who knows all kinds of knowledge, all kinds of languages, has all kinds of like world knowledge, but doesn't know maths. So with time, now ChatGPT can they can solve basic math problems. It's not that now, so they have evolved. However, it's good to know that the point is they were not trained on maths data. So maybe they can tell you what trigonometry is, but they'll not be able to solve the trigonometry problems. So that's the point. And the third and the most important, so if you ask what is Martian dune tree, now does anybody know what Martian dune tree is? Does anyone know what Martian dune tree is? So there is no such thing called Martian dune tree, but still LLM has gone ahead and gave you the answer, and that's the main problem, which is hallucination. So LLMs have a tendency to hallucinate. They make up the answers, and this is where we need to be careful when we are developing applications on top of LLMs, right? To give you another example, if you see, this is for the maths. Now, if you're asking 9.11 and 9.9, which is bigger? ChatGPT replied 9.11 is bigger. Now, if you assign you are a maths teacher at high school, 9.11, which is bigger? Again, ChatGPT replied 9.11 is bigger. Now, if you say that you are the Nobel Prize of winner of maths, now tell me what 9.11 and 9.91. ChatGPT still said 9.11 is bigger. And now, when you say think carefully before you answer, and then ChatGPT actually said, okay, 9.99 is bigger than 9.11. So that's one. Second, if you see hallucination, if you ask, create a picture of an empty room with no elephant, absolutely no elephant anywhere in the room, and this is what ChatGPT has come up with. So hallucination is like their inherent nature. They do hallucinate, and we need to be careful. For example, if we are building a chatbot on top of an LLM using any let's say ChatGPT or any GPT model, then we need to be very careful that because it can generate wrong answers as well. So we'll talk about all these things in today's session, but this is what LLM hallucination is. So if you see, to err is human, to hallucinate is Gen AI. It's there. So like we humans make mistakes, Gen AI is also they also tend to hallucinate. It's not a bug which we can fix. Hallucination is somewhat is their inherent nature. So now that's about LLM. I think you guys know much about it. Now we also need to talk. We want to know a little bit of prompt engineering, how to write prompts. So are we aware of prompt engineering? Have we what all things? What exactly prompt engineering is? Anyone? Have you covered prompt engineering?
How to give the prompt?
How to give the prompt, but why? So what exactly prompt engineering is?
Yeah, we need to start the searching of any concept from the basics to the in-depth level. Sometimes we'll have some ambiguity between some words. To avoid that one, we need to give a clarity of the content.
Exactly. But that's prompt. That's prompting. What is prompt engineering? Why we talk about prompt engineering? So what you are saying that so we need to write something so that LLMs can give us the output, right? So that's prompt or that's prompting, right? What is prompt engineering?
So applying some structured approaches to give the correct result based on the prompt.
Right. That's one. See, so basically, it's like the better question we. Yeah.
Like software engineering principles we are applying when developing a project. Like applying the software engineering principles when we are developing a project for any company. So here also we have to apply some structured techniques for correct output or product. That is for correct output. The structured approaches using.
Yeah, you are correct. See, it's very simple, right? So prompt engineering is that prompt. So basically, what is a prompt? Whatever you are writing in the ChatGPT window is a prompt. So even if you are saying hi, hello, how are you? That's also a prompt. If you are asking, can you write an essay on artificial intelligence? That's also a prompt. So anything which you write is a prompt. Now, and basically that's the instruction which you are giving to the LLM, right? Now, better the instruction you give, better the result you will get. Right. So, for example, just take an example. I teach AI. Right now, someone approaches me and says that you have to give a lecture on AI tomorrow. Right now, now I assume that, if someone is asking, I have to go and, give a lecture to maybe senior professionals, right? So I prepared accordingly. But then when I, joined the meeting, I saw they were school kids. So now here I assumed things, right? So now when we give instructions, we don't have to assume things. So there are some techniques where, we want to give clear instructions to models, and that's what prompt engineering is. So let me tell you some things, some like this is a very like a topic in itself, but let me tell you. So first thing is assign a role. Assign a role as in when you prompt, whenever you prompt, you give a role to ChatGPT. For example, you should say that, you are a finance expert, or let's say if you want to write some codes, then you should say you are Python expert, and then write me a code for this problem, right? So whenever you assign a role, then basically ChatGPT understands, because see, ChatGPT has like world knowledge. It knows coding to poetry to, to physics, maths, history, everything. But if you assign a role, if you say that you are a history expert, then basically it will give you the answer as that kind of. If you say that, you are a child coaching expert, so first thing is we should assign a role. Then most important, then we need to mention intended audience. The example which I gave, like the person who is coming to me, I should have not assumed that, the lecture would be on for senior professionals. I should ask that person that who is the audience. So you should always say that, you are a financial expert, and what would be, and I am like 40 plus years of this thing with this much income. What should be the finance advice you should give me? So you should mention intended audience. If any important instruction you would like to give, you should always be specific. Don't assume anything. And then you need to, and prompting is an iterative process. So you write one prompt, ChatGPT gives you an answer. Based on that answer, you can always basically refine on it. You can always say that, this is not what I wanted. Can you please do this? So these are the very basic prompting techniques. You could also write what not to do. So just consider that, just consider this thing as that, you are basically giving instruction to your colleague, to your junior. So you are giving very clear instructions that, you have to do this, you have to do this, please don't assume this, and you don't have to do this. Then in this case, like, the output which you get will be what you'll desire. So you in prompt, though the name is prompt engineering, we need to think like a manager here. We need to think that ChatGPT is our junior, and we should give clear and proper instructions. So this is what your prompt engineering is. Okay. So now, what are the applications of ChatGPT? You can create chatbots, you can create generative assistants, contextualizers, and you can create autonomous agents. I think we all know this. So now, how LLM has changed application development. So what was traditional AI application? We used to use supervised learning. It used to take months to get labeled data. Then it used to take 3 months to 6 months to basically train the model, and then it used to take months to basically deploy and call the model. So in order to make an AI based application, it almost used to take some 8-9 months or up to 1 year. But now with LLM, you don't have to train any model. Model is already trained. You don't have to get any data. You just have to specify. You just have to prepare your prompt, and you can call the model. So within minutes or within hours, you can create an LLM based application. We'll also see how we can do that. So this is what traditional is. Okay. Now, do we know about tokens? What are tokens? So I think you must have heard of tokens, right? Okay. So do we? Yes, sorry. Could you please repeat?
You like the keywords?
Words?
Words.
having
Exactly.
meaning and
Yeah, you're
keywords.
close. Yeah. So at least so have we heard of this word token? I think if you learn AI and especially large language models, everyone talks about tokens, right?
Yes.
Right. So okay, so let's understand what token is first. Okay. So now let's see. Just so token basically is like, you know, 4 words roughly corresponds to 3 tokens. And how we calculate these tokens, for example, if the word is learning new things is fun, there could be 6 tokens. Yes, learning could be 1 token, new could be 1 token, things could be another token, right? We could, like, you know, divide a word into multiple subwords and those actually becomes tokens. So for example, here prompting actually becomes 3 tokens: prom, pt and ing, right? How do you understand this? So for example, if you say that, you know, take the letters in lollipop and reverse them. Now if you see, the answer should be POPILLOL, right? That should be the answer, but we haven't got that answer. The answer which we have got is this. Why? Like any idea why we have not got this? So
I think that word
yeah,
itself, na, lollipop itself has been tokenized. It has been separated and then it
exactly.
has been reversed, and that's why it is coming like that.
Exactly. So the word is so for it has been tokenized. So now this is not a single token. So now what we can do, if we do this, let's you know, separate all the characters with dash. And now if you ask the model to reverse this, now you get the right answer. Now if you see POPILLOL, why? Because now each character has actually become a token. That's the point. So now, so there could be, so one word could be a token, and one word could be divided into multiple subwords and could have become token. So for lollipop, if you see, L was 1 token, OLL was 2nd token, and IPOP was 3rd token, right? So it has been tokenized. So lollipop has actually become the 3 words. So now this is what, so basically when we asked it to reverse it, we were not getting the right answer. But when we added dash, every single character actually became 1 token, and that's it. Okay, so we understood token, but why we are talking about tokens? Why we need to know about tokens? Like, what's the use?
So the prompt, we are giving the sentences with words. That's why.
Okay, like any other answer anyone like to? Why tokens are important? Because tokens are important because pricing actually depends on tokens. So if you see, this is your OpenAI pricing. If you have to use, if we use GPT-4o model, it charges $5 per 1 million tokens. So the amount, if you have more tokens, you have to incur more money. If you see, for input, $5 per 1 million tokens. For output, it's 15 million per 1 million tokens. $15 per. So when we use ChatGPT, it's free. But when we build applications on top of an LLM, let's say ChatGPT-4o, using an API, will send whatever information we are sending. It will, so the price will depend on input as well as output. And that's the reason we need to understand tokens, and we need to track how many tokens we are sending to LLMs and how many tokens actually LLM is sending back to us, or or how many tokens LLM are generating while generating the output. Any questions so far? Is it going good?
Yes, sir.
So one question is there. See, it is $5, per 1 million token. Once you exceed that, after that again it will become per million, 1 million, $5, or it is it's like a meter reading on based on the tokens itself.
So basically, what we need to do basically, it's like prepaid system. So we have to basically buy credits on OpenAI. So let's say you buy $10 of credit. So then you can use up to 2 million of tokens. When your credit goes zero, you have to again recharge.
Again, recharge, like a prepaid concept, right, sir?
It's a prepaid recharge. So you have to buy tokens. These tokens are so you have to buy credits. These credits are valid for 1 year. So within that 1 year, if you use them, then you have to again recharge it. Otherwise, they get lapsed. So for developers, they need to do that.
Okay.
Any other questions? So far, so good. Should we go ahead then? Can you give me a thumbs up? So now let's come to our main topic, which is LangChain. So what is LangChain? What is our initial understanding of LangChain? Have we heard of this term? What do we know? Any idea? Why, when we are talking about LangChain, like for a whole day we have reserved for LangChain only? Why?
Typically, sir, if you want to build an LLM application, so we can start it from scratch itself. But through Landslide, we'll get overall some libraries and a framework through which it will help us to easily build that LLM application.
Right. Yeah, okay, that's correct. Else, that any other thing? Yeah. So that's close. Basically, as the name suggests, it's a development framework. So basically, it helps developers, right? So any other? Cool. So basically, it's a development framework for building applications. So now we all know what LLM is, right? Now, before that, do we know how to? So how many LLMs are there currently? Any idea? How many LLMs are there currently? Any guess? And how we can use these LLMs? So there are 3,000 plus LLMs are there currently, right? And are we aware of this website called Hugging Face? Hugging Face? No. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. What is Hugging Face?
Is a one framework, sir. We have a lot of data sets are available, and models are also available in that.
Exactly.
Inferences are there. We can utilize that. API inferences.
Right. And okay. So we have. So now basically there are two kinds of models, LLMs. One is your proprietary LLM, right? Proprietary LLM like OpenAI's proprietary LLM, which is not open source. And then we have open source LLMs, which are present on Hugging Face. Now, do we know how to access these LLMs? If we have to access an LLM from Hugging Face, how can we do that?
That we can directly download the model and can use it because it's open source, or you can have an API.
Right. That's right. That's one. And how will we access OpenAI's LLM?
OpenAI, and also we can do through the API, so we have to pay for that API.
Right. So let's do these things as a to start with. Let's do these two practical things first. Let's access OpenAI's LLM, and let's also access an LLM from Hugging Face. Let me share that thing first. Just give me a minute. So I have shared a folder called LangChain Labs and Practices. Like, have you got the access to that? Have you got access to that LangChain? If not, if we can provide that access. Okay. So first of all, this is your Hugging Face. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is your Hugging Face. So here you have all the models which are present. It's not just about LLMs, all kinds of models that are present. If you want to use like image, if you see for computer vision, text to image, image to text, image to image, text to video, right? Image to 3D. If you go to NLP, text classification, question answer, summarization, everything. Or for audio, text to speech. So all kinds of model for reinforcement learning. For LLMs, we need to go to text generation. Now, when you go to text generation, now you can see there are, now it's like 1,25,000 models which are there, which are present. Now, if you see Llama, Grok, right? If you see Mistral, all kinds of models are present. Okay. Now, one way is basically we can download the model and we can use it. One way is we can directly use these models calling Hugging Face API. So let me show you that. Okay. So this is the way. This is what we are doing. So let me. This is. So have you got access of this notebook? Okay. So do we know Google Colab?
Yes, sir. Can you share
Google
in the chat box, sir? Yesterday, trainers are given exercise with the Google Colab only, sir.
Google Colab.
Everybody is aware of that. Can you share the link or file? If you want to mail, you can mail.
I have shared. I have already shared. Can you? Let me share. So if you can give me if you can tell me the email ID, I can quickly share it now as well. You can tell
I'm typing in the chat box.
Okay. I'm not able to access that chat. Somehow it's still loading. I don't know what's the problem. I'm not able to see the chat box. That's the problem I'm facing.
Just to send me to the Harshavardhan_A.
Yeah, if you can.
Sir, can you share that link here, sir, in the chat box so that I can?
Okay, let me share. Yeah, let me. Chat box I'm not able to access.
Yeah,
otherwise, I would have shared. Just let me.
HARSHA. VARDHA. HARSHA. VARDHA_A. A. @ VNR. V for Vellore.
VNR.
V.
Again V. Again V. JIET. IET.
ET. .in.
Is correct?
Yes, sir. Now, if you send to this one, I will download and I will share in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, you can share it.
Directly you can share it to all, no, sir.
If everybody is sharing, if you do any modifications, it will be impact on the resource person's file only. No?
Right. That's the problem. So I suggest if you get this, if you're sharing this, then make a copy and then do your exercises. So let me call this.
I will download and I will share in the WhatsApp.
Yeah. So now let's talk. So let's first, we will be using LangChain for that. I'll tell you what exactly we do. So we use LangChain in LangChain community, and we have to use Hugging Face tokens. So if you go to Hugging Face settings, and here you will basically get your access tokens. So now here you can get your access tokens. If you can create new token, you will get those tokens. So for now, let me add my tokens. Now how we will use this model? Go to models, okay, and then go to text generation, and then you can use any model you want. For example, let's say if you have to use this model, go here and just copy this, and then you have to add the model name here, and that's what, right? So now if you do this, so I'm using Mistral, which is a model. Now I am using this, and then what do we want to ask? Who is the first president of USA, or what do you want model to answer? Any suggestion? Or let's say write a poem on AI. Let's do this. Write a poem on AI. So now if you can see, model has done. So now you don't have to do, this is your, with this code, and it's free. You don't have to pay anything, and it's free, and you can get your answers here. So with using open source model, you don't have to pay for ChatGPT. You can use all the latest models, and you can do this. Any preference? What should ask? What we should ask? Okay, let's then ask this. What is photosynthesis?
Sir, who is the next Prime Minister of India?
That's even. Yeah, so that would be difficult for.
Let us see, sir, what is the answer?
LLM for answer. But let's ask. Let's try what it is coming. Who is? Most probably it would say that, this is beyond my capability, or I can't predict. Who is the next Prime Minister of India? Let's ask this. Okay, so no, it's saying that Narendra Modi. So basically, so now you can see basically this is hallucination. It should have said that, it cannot answer this question, but it has actually gone ahead and answered the question. So now that's the reason we cannot rely on their answers. So now let's say if you create an application based on that, and if your user asks this question, the user will get the wrong information.
Sir, can you put a prompt like this and see what is coming? Like, imagine yourself an astrologer and predict who will be the next prime minister in the year, 2028.
Imagine yourself as an astrologer and
Predict
who will of India in 2029. This is what you're asking?
Yes, sir.
It is not possible to predict the
Now
next
here's
Prime Minister of India as there are many factors. Now it has given the right answer, right?
right, sir. That means the
Factors
prompt
involved.
also has to be little bit correct, sir. The prompt also
Exactly.
depends. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, so both the cases. So I think we check both. So first, so why prompt engineering or writing a good prompt is important. Second, that's also second, models can hallucinate as well. So they can provide you wrong information as well. Right? The election of prime minister is not just based on astrological prediction, but also on political alliances, public opinion. So that I think this is a much better answer which it has given. So this is one. This is this is what this is for Hugging Face. Now you can call any model and you can create your free chat GPT. But calling by any GPT. So that's one exercise. Now let me show you how to call an OpenAI's model. So let me go to OpenAI. For OpenAI, you need paid API. So if you go to openai.com, here you can see there is API login. So if you go, you have to go to OpenAI login. So it gives you two options, whether you want to go to ChatGPT or to API. So if you go to API, and you can go to API keys, you can create a new API key here, but it requires credits. So if you're not, then let me show you how to do that. Now before that, how to call any model. I have this this collab notebook. Okay, so let's install this. Okay, here we are not using any LangChain. We are calling the model directly. I'll also show you how you can call the model through LangChain. Okay, so this is what your model is. Let me add my OpenAI key. So this is the prompt I'm writing. Any suggestions? So should I go ahead with this? Please explain AI to a 10, or do we want to check something else? Okay, let's first do this. Now here we need to add the model name. And how can we get the model name? If you go here, if you come here, basically docs, and you can see models. So now you will get all the models these are the models which OpenAI supports: GPT-4o, GPT-4 Turbo, DALI, all these models. And in order to use them, we need to use this. So basically, GPT-4o, we have to use this GPT-4o Mini, GPT-4o Turbo, all this. So let's say we have to use GPT-4 Turbo, right? So let me use this. So you come to GPT-4 Turbo, write it here, and then let's run this. So it will basically, we are using this API. And then let's see the generated response. So this is the generated response. That imagine you have a really smart robot friend that can help you with all sort of things like homework. This is how we are explaining AI to a 10-year-old kid. Any other prompt you want to try? Any questions so far? So have we got have we got all?
Any model in that, sir?
Sorry, could you please repeat?
Is there any model to train in mathematics, IIT related like that? IIT JEE.
I am not aware of that. We need to check. So basically, models are not good in maths. Now, because they were not trained on mathematics. See, and how models learn? gave them the data, right? So if someone is not taught math, how will that person know? So similarly, so I am not sure if we have a model which is good in IIT maths. Because the things are dynamic, so there could be a thing, but as per my knowledge, we don't have any such data currently, any such model currently.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Any other question? Or have we got all the these notebooks?
Sir, which files I should share, sir?
These two. GPT-4o API calling, that's one.
GP2.
And calling open source LLM Hugging Face. These two.
Okay, sir. Just give me the 2 minutes, sir. I will share it.
No problem. I think so. Once we share it, because this is important, because at least we understand. We do some hands-on here. So maybe you share it, and maybe we can take a break of 5 minutes. People can play around with these models, and then maybe we can go ahead. Is this fine?
Done,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Shared, sir.
Yes, sir.
Dear participant, I shared these Python files in the WhatsApp group. You can download and use that.
Yeah. So maybe take another 5 minutes for doing that, and then maybe we can join again, or like. Harshvardhan sir, is that okay?
Okay, sir. You can take a 5 minutes break, sir. After 5 minutes.
Break. So it's not a break as in like we have to basically do that exercise. The break is for running these two exercises. That's the problem.
Okay, sir. No issue.
Okay. And if they have any problem, then we can rectify those as well. So basically these are the basic applications that we have built, right? And with LangChain, we'll basically go and basically build on top of all these basic things.
Sir, are there any other sources to take the models open, apart from this OpenAI and other Hugging Face?
There is Kaggle.
Kaggle, okay.
Let me show you Kaggle as well. So Kaggle, if you come here, Kaggle is basically its largest AI and ML community. It's part of Google. Google has acquired this company now, and let me show you. So if you here, you can see all the models are present here as well. All the models.
Yeah, good, sir.
Gamma 2, Llama 3, Llama 3.1, all these models which are present here as well. And not only models, you also get the data sets, because once you start training the model, you need data sets as well. Data set is a much bigger problem than assessing the model, right? So there are so many data sets as well. If you see USA house prices, all these things. And then you also get some code here, how to basically do this. So Kaggle and Hugging Face, both are good repository for all these things. If you see, Hugging Face also has models, data sets, everything. And then Spaces. Spaces is where basically you can deploy your models and you can do that. So let's resume at 11:10.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's resume at 11:10 then.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, sir, you also asked to share traveling or something as such. In WhatsApp, you asked to share, other than these two files, the other information also. We haven't got that in my WhatsApp.
So we will share, like, let's start with these two. I have shared all those things. I think Dr. Harshvardhan sir will share those informations like as we go ahead.
Okay, thank you, sir.
send the WhatsApp to that Senthil. Savita calls. Any mail received? Ask through WhatsApp.
Hello everyone, can we resume now?
Yes, sir.
Like did we get a did we able to run those codes, at least Hugging Face code? Any problems there?
No, sir, that we could execute.
So,
That
so
LLM
I
we
can
could
access.
execute.
Yeah. So we understood, right, what Hugging Face is and how we have to access OpenAI models through API. So now I can access chat as well. So if you want to write on chat, you please do that as well. If you want to speak anything, please do that. Harshvardhan sir, can we start now?
Yes, sir, please. Sir, in some meeting, sir. I am one of the coordinator. Please continue, sir.
Okay, good. See, so now the point is LangChain. So now you have LLM, right? You can, but in order to build applications on top of LLMs, there were so many missing pieces. There was, you need a framework to basically bridge those gaps. So the first gap is, how will you basically access the models? That was the first thing, because earlier these models were not present on Hugging Face, and even if they were present, like you had to download and do stuff. With LangChain now you can basically access these models using their APIs. So that was the first thing. So let's start here. So now if you see, when you want to build an application, this is the whole architecture. You have LLM models, but then you also have to integrate other sources, like you may have to add a database, you have to add documents, you need to access internet, and then there are interfaces like website, mobile applications, APIs. How will you interact with your applications? How will your users or your systems will interact with these LLMs, right? And how will they get feedback? So this is what the entire LLM architecture is. So there were so many missing pieces. So LangChain, frameworks like LangChain came, and through this we can access all those things. So what essentially this means is, so now let's say we have OpenAI, we have Hugging Face, and now for our application purpose, we need to access Google or Gmail or our Google Drive or Notion or any other external application. So LangChain actually becomes a bridge between these things. Okay. Now this is your complete LangChain what you say ecosystem. There are so many things, and we'll cover all these things one by one. So you have LangSmith, LangServe, and then you have chains and agents and models and parsers and agents, and then you have LangChain expression language. So we'll cover one by one. So by the end of this, like by today, you will be able to understand all these things. That is what LangChain is. So major components of LangChain are models, templates, prompt templates, output parsers, memory, chains, and agents. Let's talk them one by one. So basically, it's an old slide. So it's saying model 20 plus integrations, but now basically you can LangChain can help you in integrating with like over 3,000 plus LLMs, right? So how do you do that? How do you do that? Basically, this is what we saw earlier. How to basically open. So we saw how we can call an OpenAI model directly. Here we can see how we can call the model that using LangChain. So from LangChain we can import OpenAI. We need to add our OpenAI API key. And then if we ask, this is simple how it is to use access an OpenAI model using LangChain, because LangChain has multiple things, right? This we saw earlier, how we can access a Hugging Face model using LangChain. We have to provide API token, and then we pass the model name, we pass our temperature, and this is how we can access any model on Hugging Face. These two things are clear, right? Now, the important thing is prompt templates. Any idea what is prompt templates, what prompt templates are, and why do we need them? Okay, so let me ask this question. So can you add, so prompt is like a variable. So when you pass the model, if you are seeing, basically this is here. If you see, this is our prompt. What is the capital of text? And we have assigned this prompt to a variable. Now, can
Sorry, sir, you are muted, please. Sir, I can't hear you, sir.
Sir, you are not audible, sir.
The mic was muted. Please, sir.
You have been muted, sir.
You have been
Mic
muted,
is
sir.
muted.
Mic is muted.
I'm really sorry. I told all these things. So now is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Please, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Oh shit. So I think
Yes,
no problem. No problem. Just give me a. I just give me a. Okay, now can you hear me now?
Sir, yes, sir.
Cool. So let's start from the LangChain. So what is LangChain? Basically, LangChain helps you in building LLM applications. Applications for translation, for summarization and all. Okay. Now this is your LLM application architecture. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
now you can hear my voice as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay. See now the thing is, LLM models are one thing. If you want to make a complete application, there are multiple other things that we need. So for example, LLM model is one, right? You can use any model, but then you have to add information sources to these models. You have to add a database, you have to add documents, or you want LLM to access web, right? And then you have your interface like websites, mobile applications, and through website and applications, you need to use these LLMs, right? So how you or your user will access LLM application. So for that, we need these LLM tools and frameworks like LangChain. Should we go ahead now?
Yes, sir.
What LangChain does is, LangChain helps you in bridging the gap between your LLMs which are present on OpenAI or Hugging Face, to external applications. It could be the Google, it could be Gmail, it could be Google Drive, Notion, Wolfram, anything. So basically, LangChain actually becomes a bridge between integrating two different software applications. So you have your LLMs on OpenAI, but let's say you need data from Google Drive. So LangChain actually helps you in doing that, and that's the reason we are learning LangChain. So it's a development framework which provides you multiple components, right? And this is what LangChain ecosystem looks like. If you see, there are so many things: Langsmith, Langserve, prompt templates, chains, agents, models, retrieval. And so we'll be talking about all these things today. And by end of the day, like by end of the sessions, you will be able to understand all these things. So this is what the agenda for today is, right? Now, major components are models, prompt templates, output parsers, memory, chains, and agents. We'll talk about them one by one. So models. So now you can see that with LangChain, we could able to access models present on Hugging Face, right? So this data is old because earlier there were many very less LLMs. Now there are 3,000 plus LLMs. So with LangChain, you can actually connect with 3,000 plus models. This is what is. So how do you do that? How do you do that? You have to import OpenAI from langchain.llms. You need to provide your OpenAI key, and when you do that, basically you can predict the answer. This is how you can access OpenAI model using LangChain. This is what we have done earlier as well. And you can also call Hugging Face models. This is what we have done earlier, right? We have provided our API token, we provided the model name, we defined our temperature parameters, and then we asked what we wanted, and then we got the result. So this is how you can access model from Hugging Face using LangChain. Now let's talk about prompt templates. So any idea what prompt templates are? Have we heard of this term? No, yes. Okay, let me give you the problem. So see here. So now what is the capital of India is our prompt, right? And we are assigning this prompt to a variable, and then we are passing this variable, right? Now, what if I don't want to hard code India here. I want to add a variable here itself. So what I'm saying, instead of writing what is the capital of India, I want to write what is the capital of a variable which is country. And here, while printing, I'll pass the text as well as the country's name so that it can give me the answer as accordingly. Can we do that? Can we do that?
Yes, sir.
How can we do that? How can you add a variable inside a variable? How can we add a variable inside a variable? So prompt templates actually help you in doing that. This is the so that it becomes a reproducible way to generate a prompt. Okay. So now if you see here, this is our prompt template, that you are a vehicle mechanic, give responses to the following question, and now you have added a variable question. Now this question can vary anything, right? Now do not use technical words, give easy to understand whatever. So now here, when I am passing the input, now my question is, why won't a vehicle start on ignition? Now I can change these questions. So I don't for all these questions, I am not hard coding the prompt. Now I have a standard prompt. I have just added a variable, and I can give value to that variable, and it can give me multiple responses. So this is what prompt template is. So if you don't use prompt template in your application, you have to basically hard code all these things. So LangChain gave you this feature that you can add a variable in it. Is it clear? Any questions? Now if you see, we can give that you are a vehicle mechanic, give language responses. Now in the first variable was question, you can add another variable as language. So now when I'm passing this prompt template, we are giving question, why won't a vehicle start? And we want the answer to be in Spanish. So we don't have to do like, write multiple prompts. We have created a prompt template with some variables, and we can ask, and we can get the results. Any questions so far? So what's the use? Use is basically prompts can be long and detailed. So we can reuse good prompts when you can. We don't, and LangChain provides prompts for common operations. Okay, so this is why we use prompt templates. Okay. So this is from their documents that prompt templates offers a versatile approach to language model interactions. And okay, and then they also have prompt hub. So now where they have, LangChain also have prompt hub where they store, basically it's a kind of repository of good prompts, or consider it as like GitHub. So where you get all the codes in LangChain hub, you can get all the good prompts. If you can see explore and contribute prompts to the community hub, top favorites, any prompt which you think, you can go to LangChain hub and you can copy or paste this. You don't have to write your own prompts as well, or basically even if to write, you at least you get a template for that. Any questions so far? So this could be a prompt. You see, system, you are an expert prompt writer for large language models. Your goal is to improve the prompt given below. Now this is where you can basically improve the prompts as well. Here are several tips on writing great prompts. Start the prompt by starting that this is expert in the subject, and then you give. This is how you can write a great prompt for your understanding. Any questions so far? Okay, output parsers. So now so please give me this thing. Can you, yeah, Sirisha, Mari Sirisha, yeah. Do you have any question? Mari Sirisha, do you have any question?
The participants, please mute your mic. I request faculty members. Sirisha madam, please mute your mic. Sir, your mic was muted, please.
Yeah. So my question is, can you ask an LLM to generate a response in HTML? Can you ask an LLM to generate a response in HTML? So for example, can you ask an LLM to design a website for you in HTML? Can we do that? Okay. Okay. Do we know JSON? What is JSON?
JavaScript documentation.
Exactly. So why do we need JSON?
Structured format of the data.
Exactly. For structured format. Why do we need the data in structured format? Why do we want data in structured format, or basically in JSON? Because we can
parsing. I think it will be easy for parsing, sir.
Exactly. Exactly. So it would be easy to retrieve or parse that data, right? So if we get that form in structured format, we can actually use that data. We can put it in Excel sheet, and then basically we can easily retrieve that data. So that's the reason we can do this. We want in JSON form. Okay. Now the point here is, so basically we need structured models response, right? So output parsers. So what is the problem? Output parsers are responsible for taking the output of an LLM and transforming into a more suitable format. And this is useful when you are using LLMs to generate any form of structured data. So for example, you have this review. Okay. Now we don't want to read what this review is. What we want is, we want that, for this review, we want LLM to give us these three things. We want the format, the output as JSON with following keys. We want to know whether customer has purchased a gift or not. First thing. Second, how much delivery time it took. And third, what was the price value of that product. We want to know these things. Cool. We got a customer review. This might look like 4 or 5 lines, but let's say it's a 50 lines review we have got. We don't care what it exactly is. We want to understand whether it's a gift or not. So gift as in, was the item purchased as gift for someone else? Answer true if yes, false if not, no. Delivery time, how many days did it take for the product to arrive? If the information is not found, output -1. And if price value, extract any sentences about the value or price. So this is one, right? Now we want this to be in JSON format so that we can access the values, right? JSON format is like a dictionary. We know what dictionary is, right? What is Python dictionary? What is Python dictionary?
Sir, it will be similar to key value pair.
Exactly. So it's like a key value pair. And why we need a key value pair?
Because it will be easier to parse.
It will be easier to parse. And why is it easier to parse? Because we can access the value through the key, right? Yeah. So in this case, basically, if we know that this is a gift, so we can retrieve the value of gift by using this value key. So that's why we are saying we are asking LLM to provide us this information. Format the output as JSON with the following keys. Okay. So now LLM has given us this information that gift was true. Delivery days were 2 days it took. Price value, it's slightly more expensive than the other leaf blowers out there, but I think it's worth it for the extra feature. It did not get the exact value, so it has given us the information. Now, because we wanted this information in JSON, so now we can access the value of true through the value gift. Now let's do this. So now if we try to access the value through the key, it gave us an error that string object has no attribute get. So though we asked for a JSON, LLM has not given us the output in JSON. It has just given us the output in string format. Because again, the point is we cannot 100% rely on LLMs. So sometimes LLM can give you a JSON, sometimes LLMs will not give you the JSON in JSON format. So we cannot 100% rely on its output, and that's the reason LangChain has created this thing called output parser, where it will, whatever you'll ask, you will get the in that desired format only. So with LangChain's output parser, if you want an LLM to generate a response in JSON, it will give you in JSON only. So for example, here, now how do we do that? So what we are saying, parse the LLM output string into a Python dictionary. We want to this thing. Now what we are doing, we have defined our gift schema that and for that we will be using structured output parser. This is the part of your LangChain. So from LangChain output parser, we import this thing, and then we're defining gift, that it was the item purchased, the same thing. We're defining delivery days, how many days did it take, and then we are defining price, that extract any sentence from this. And now we have created this response schema, that now we have gift schema, delivery day schema, and price value schema. And now if you see, we got this response in JSON, gift, this, and now if you see the instruction which model is received is that output should be a markdown code snippet formatted in the following schema, including the leading input, right? Now if you try to access delivery days, you get the result as 2. This was the value we got, gift true, delivery days 2. And now if you try to access the value through key, you get the answer as 2. Any questions? I hope this is clear now. Any questions? Or is it, are we going too fast? Is it okay if we go ahead? Cool. So let me. Now here, if we want to list out a comma separated output parser, basically we want the model to give us the result with comma separated. Here we are saying that we have list 5 ice cream flavors. Your response should be a list of comma separated value. Example, foo, comma, bar, comma, baz, comma, this. This is how, right? So now if you ask model, so now if we are using LangChain and if we say ice cream flavors, so it will give you the output in comma separated output parser only. So basically with output parser, we are 100% sure that whatever in whichever format we want, LLMs will generate the results in that format only. That's the use of output parsers. Okay. Now, what all things we can do, practical applications we can do with LangChain, with LLMs? If we want to build a practical application, like business applications, what all things we can make? Any, like, have you seen any practical applications? So,
sir, in Amazon, no product preview can you generate this one?
Exactly, very correct. That's one. What else? What else we can do? See, we can create multiple LLM application, and that's why we are learning these things, right? If we cannot
customized LLMs.
Okay, so customized LLMs we can do, but what I'm asking is like practical applications. Like after customizing LLMs, what is the practical application? For example, as you know, Dr. Chandrasekhar Reddy said that you can create a Amazon review analysis, or there could be multiple. You can have customer review sentiment analysis system. You can have customers review summarization system, right? So Amazon can basically, or so now let's say you have a product, right, on Amazon which have like thousands of reviews. Now you don't want to go and read thousands of reviews. So what Amazon can do using LLM, it can give you a summary of all those 1,000 LLM reviews, right? So this could be one practical application. What all other practical applications we can create?
Text summarization, sir.
Text summarization is one, right? What else? There are many. Like that's the reason LLMs are so popular, so in demand, and that's the reason everyone wants to learn LLM, because they want to build applications on top of LLMs, right? Translation, we can make translation, right? So let's say, so the first application that we can make is classification of queries for customer support. Okay, now let's understand what it is, right? So what you are doing is that we received one complaint, so we got a query. Now what we want to assign that query to the relevant department. So for example, here let's understand this. You will be provided with a customer service query. So we have received a query from customer. The customer service query will be delimited with this character. Now classify each query into a primary category and a secondary category, so that we can assign that query to the relevant department. Now what all departments we have? One department is your billing department. Second department is your technical support department. Third is your account management department. And fourth is your general inquiry department. So what we are saying is we have these primary queries: billing, technical support, account management, or is it a general query? So now whatever query it is, we are asking LLM to basically assign which department it should go. And after that, we have these secondary queries. For billing, is it unsubscribe or upgrade? Is the customer asking for payment method or explanation for charges or dispute of charges, right? Then for technical support, is that person asking for general troubleshooting, device compatibility, software updates? For account management, is he or she asking for password reset, update personal information, close account, account security? So now, if you remember, or if it's not about remember, so when you call a customer care, what they ask, what they do, they ask that for customer for billing, press 1, for technical support press 2, for account management press 3, for general inquiry press 4. Now you don't have to do it manually. Now you just have to give the query and LLM will decide to which department it should go. Right? So we can use it for classification. So now let's say if user has come and the user has asked this thing, that tell me more about your flat screen TVs, right? So now LLM has classified that it's a general inquiry, and the secondary level is that the customer is asking for product information. So now based on this, now you can basically assign this query to product team, to that team who can provide product information. That's one. Second, let's say if customer has come and asked, I want you to delete my profile and all of my user data. So LLM has decided that this is basically an account management related query, and the type is of close account. So the person who is responsible for closing account will be assigned this query. So this is one major application of customer support where LLMs can help. Are we on same? Any questions? Is this application looking good, or is this use case good? Can like, I like if you guys interact, because so that I can understand. Like, even if you yes, no, you'll type on chat. I can see the chat box now. So even if you can write yes, no, I can understand that we are going in the right direction. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'll try to explain it in a different way as well. Should we move ahead? Is this?
Sir, in OTT platforms, it is automatically generating the translation language.
Right. So that's not LLM. That's basically voice to text generation.
Voice to text generator. Okay.
Yeah. So that's basically so earlier, like before LLMs, we have this option like automatically closed caption generation. So you have this feature on YouTube as well, right? And on OTT platforms as well as there are multiple models. So this is not very specific to large language model. This is basically voice to text generation.
So voice to text. Okay, sir.
Okay. Any other question?
Sir, YouTube video summarization also, I think recently you can get it, whether it comes.
Yeah. YouTube video summary. So I have created an application, like in the code which I have shared, we have that application where we can summarize YouTube videos and all kinds of videos, like, whether it could be a short video of 3-4 minutes, it could be a long video of 2-3 hours. And we can also combine multiple YouTube videos and summarize. So I have created that application. I have shared with you. Like once we go through it, I'll show you that as well.
Okay.
Any other questions? Cool. So let's move ahead. So classification was one. Another is summarizing, but not only summarizing, summarizing at scale. Now let's say you have to summarize 10 different essays. Can you do it using ChatGPT? Can we summarize? Yeah.
One possible way is that you have to take the 10 different summarization of the things, then again put together, again give it to the chat GPT. It is how it will going to work. Otherwise,
Right.
one single way you cannot do it.
In one single way you cannot do it, right? Yeah. Because if you put all the content together, chat GPT will consider not like all the content as one, and it will provide a summary of entire 10 essays, right? So how can we do that? So as a developer we can do that. We cannot do it on chat GPT's interface, but as a developer we can do that. Why we can do that? Because we have the power of for loop. Now if you see, we can summarize at scale, and how we can do that? Basically we can create a for loop where we'll pass one review at a time, and then we are asking the model to summarize, right? So you have multiple reviews, you store it somewhere, and then you pass one review at a time, and using this we can summarize. So we are passing reviews. We are saying your task is to generate a short summary of a product review from an e-commerce site. Summarize the review below, delimited by triple backticks in at most 20 words, and then we are passing review 0, review 1, review 2, review 3, and it will give you the reviews. So as a developer, because we have the power of for loop, we can do it. Now you can have unlimited amount of reviews, and you can summarize it. So basically you can summarize at scale. This could be another LLM application that I was talking. So basically, let's say Amazon has like millions of products and thousands of reviews on those products. And if Amazon wants to summarize each and every review, now with this Amazon can actually summarize, right? They just have to create like a sheet where they'll put all the reviews. They'll pass one review at a time, and they can get all the reviews.
LLM app to be developed yet, is it?
Yeah, so basically this is what we are saying is, so you can develop an app for that as well.
Is there not any app that is being developed, sir? So that we can summarize the journals, what we have to go to.
Is an app. So there can be app, right? What I'm saying here is that you don't need to use an app as a developer. You can you yourself can do it with this simple line of code.
Okay, sir. Wait to example.
Sorry, could you please repeat?
This to be executed in where to write an example.
Yeah, so we can write this thing in like Google Colab.
Okay, sir.
Right, Colab. So I'll give you I'll give you the code. You can use that and you can create it. Okay, so even if you don't see, so the point is, what I'm trying to say here is that basically we can summarize at scale. There's one LLM application which is there. Whether you created, someone else created, you use that application, all things are possible. But what I'm trying to say here is, one of LLM application which you can build is you can summarization at scale. I hope you got it, right? Yeah, that's the point. Now, at the same time, when you summarize at scale, you can also translate at scale, right? Same thing. Now we have these 4 sentences. What we are saying that first tell me what language this is. So you get you get a customer query in any language. So first you are saying tell me what language this is, and then translate the following text to English and Korean. Original message was this. it is saying that this is French, and then it has LLM. We have used LLM to translate into English and Korean. So original message was this. It is saying this is Spanish, and then we got it translated in English and Korean. Again, this is Italian. We got it in English, and this is Polish. So basically, and then you can do it again, the same thing what we have done. We have used for loops, and we have passed one user message at a time, and we have got the results. Basically, we can summarize at scale, we can translate at scale. So all these LLM applications are possible, right? So you can always go to ChatGPT. If you go to ChatGPT, you have to write each line one at a time, and then only you can do this, right? That's a manual effort which you need to do if you want to use ChatGPT. But if you use LLMs with API, you can do it. You can create an application. I hope it's clear. Okay. Now, how many of us use Grammarly here? Grammarly, we know Grammarly, right?
Yes,
right.
sir.
Now we can create our own Grammarly with this. Grammarly is nothing. It's using ChatGPT or basically an LLM or an AI model at its backend and giving you, and it's just a user interface. We can create our own Grammarly. Now, if you see the text that the girl, this is the text we have, and what we are saying simply is that proofread and correct. So now with this, we are getting the answer. So whatever information you have, you give it here, and you ask the LLM to simply proofread and correct. I think this is what we have been, like many people do on ChatGPT itself, right?
Sir, basically that Grammarly website is there, na? Sir, Grammarly tool, that AI, that also use that, typically the LLM, things only.
Right. Typically, at its backend, it's using LLM only, or any other AI model only, which is basically proofreading. It's checking the grammar, spellings, all those things, and it's suggesting.
Okay.
Yeah. What about Quillbot, sir? The same thing.
Same
Quillbot.
thing, yeah.
Could you please repeat? What about
the Quillbot?
I'm not aware of that. What exactly it does?
Phrase
That
rewriters.
also rephrase and do grammar.
Yeah, rephrasing. Yeah, so basically, yeah, same. At the back end, it's using LLM only. The same
LLM
things.
only.
And this is how the simple it is. You just have to write this code. Only this code, and you have to call the LLM, and it becomes an application. So whatever tool you are saying, proofreading for language checking, for grammar checking, all these are basically using LLM, some LLM at their backend. That's it. If you remember, like this is how easy it has become to build an application using an LLM. Earlier, it used to take months. Now, within hours, you can make, or within minutes, you can make an LLM application. Any more questions?
Thank you, sir.
Cool. So let's take a break now. Okay. We'll resume after that. If you have any questions, you can ask, and then we'll continue other aspects of LangChain, and we'll also do some hands-on. If you get time, you can also basically work on those two notebooks. I've given other notebooks as well. If you have, you can just try it, and then maybe if I can also run you through those notebooks.
Sir, one question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, when we are writing these research papers, actually the plagiarism will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, that is to avoid this plagiarism, most of the students, what they will do is they will take this rephrasing, that is using the Quillbot, any other tools they are using. They're paraphrasing. So with that, what recently this Turnitin introduced another tool, that is AI content detection also.
Right.
So what to do for that one to avoid that AI content? Some already the tools are there, that is humanized text or except tools are there. So is there any model that we can use here?
And so the question is, how can we detect AI written content? This is the question.
Yeah, that is there, sir. Already the tool is there. So I have to take a data. It should not detect for that is, it is generated as AI content.
So basically, we want a tool which cannot detect whether it's written by AI or not, right?
Yeah, or otherwise content. Otherwise you want to generate a content which is not as a AI detectable.
I understood sir's question. I think what sir is telling, if I'm not wrong, sir, we are generating some free facing with Qboard and all this thing, right? So when we actually try to, there is some softwares and all. When you go, they will say that your 29% or 35% content has been generated by AI and all. Okay.
Right.
So can we develop an application through which you will be going to generate the content with AI? But it will be more like a human, generated content where, the other software may not able to detect that whether it is being generated by AI. That is what, sir, I think.
But now,
yes.
See now, so we can create that which will not be able to, like any tool will not be able to identify whether it's AI written or it's human written. But the point here is now more and more regulations are coming where, companies have to tell that, specifically they need to tell whether it's AI generated or not. Are you so because this is just one use case where you don't want model, where we don't want people to basically understand whether it's AI generated or not. But there are so many other use cases where you actually need to understand whether it's AI generated or not. So there has to be so use case is much larger there. So so regulations are coming, in European Union and all, where basically it has to be watermarked. It has to be told that this content is actually generated by AI. You have to very specifically, even like when you generate it through ChatGPT, somehow it will make sure that you have to answer that it's generated through ChatGPT. So technically it's possible. Compliance wise, people don't want you to do that. I hope I answered the question.
I think so mostly in medical application it is happening like right now. So when you are doing a diagnosis and all this and you are getting a report, so there is a difference, this is generated from the AI model. This is what diagnosis happened and this is what the doctor has prescribed based on this, right? And you are explicitly mentioning this is AI generated. And
Exactly. See, so now what can happen is to give you an example, like I can ask ChatGPT to write let's say particular drug, let's say Covaxin. I can ask ChatGPT to write a news article on Covaxin stating real examples of people who got affected with Covaxin and why people should not use Covaxin. I can create a very fake article with real stats, with real people's name, and then so this could be misleading. Right now you need a tool which can detect that this is written by AI. Otherwise it could create a lot of misinformation. So that's what I'm saying, right? So use case of AI not detecting are less, but use case of AI detecting are much more, in order to prevent misinformation, all those kind of things. Like, I hope I answered the question. So this is what you were asking, right? Like, I hope.
yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Any other question? Any other questions? Or so then maybe let's meet at 2 now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now we'll take a break. 8 to 2 p.m. Again, we'll start the sessions.
Yeah. So we'll resume at 2 to 4. Let's. So I have a lot of cover. So let's join at sharp 2 p.m. So we'll cover all these things and we'll do some hands-on as well.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.